the value of maths in my job. Honestly, until I started, like I said, until I started preparing for this, I didn't know that math has become such a integral part, such a part that it's kind of subconscious. You don't really think about it, but you're using a lot of the concepts that Divesh mentioned about. And specifically, you're using it to a particular process that we follow here, right? Understanding the problem, identifying the real issue, and coming up with a solution. A lot of people talk about how the advertising industry is meant to be a creative industry, but actually I think it's kind of combines a little bit of art with a little bit of science, because there is a element, or there is a strong element of kind of logical thinking that you need to have in order to arrive at a problem. It is not something that you can sort of close your eyes, dream, and hope to come up with an idea. There's a lot of hard work and a lot of effort required to come up with some of the ads that you might see on TV. We had to calculate to paint a particular mural. We had to calculate the square footage and how much paint is required of each color to paint the walls. And then we had to calculate how much paint we needed, and then backtrack to how much flowers we needed to make that amount of paint. So yeah, somebody, not me, was doing all of these calculations. School maths, everything that I've studied has taught me is that whatever you do to come up to a solution, you need to follow a process, find out the real problem, and a lot of time is spent on actually understanding the problem. There is a lot of understanding statistics involved to really find out if airlines need to run and operate again. How should they do it? What is the pricing involved? How much should they set aside for marketing? Who should their real audiences be? What should they do while they're sort of under lockdown? Is ratios when it comes to design, right? This is what's called the front face of the pack. When this is placed on the supermarket shelf, this is what people will see. Now, within this area, where do we want people's attention to be? Okay, so we want people's attention to be on the name. So 40% of the face of this pack needs to be the brand name.
Oh, wow. That's like a good percentage use, huh?
Yes, right.
But can I ask you a question? Why did you
Yeah.
use the word 40%? Like, why couldn't you just say that, this is a good food for thought for all the kids, that on a particular brand, like say Milo, may be of different sizes, you may have a bigger pack as well. So
Correct.
why would you have 40%? Why wouldn't we just say that certain amount of, like, in proper centimeters or inches could have been given? I
Because
think.
it's a easy way for our designers to actually calculate, right? When we're doing a poster, say when we're doing a bigger pack or a smaller pack, it's easier to always measure in terms of percentage. This is 100% and this is 40%. If I was to say
Absolutely.
centimeters, etc., what happens is when I scale this pack up, it becomes much harder to calculate from, say, for example, 10%. How much bigger should it be to maintain that ratio? What do you say? A cube?
A cuboid?
Yeah, but it is not. It is almost triangular. And the
Yeah.
reason for it to be triangular is that it is much easier to stack. Most of these boxes go to a supermarket in a dozen box, right? So what happens is one pack is placed this way and the other pack is placed this way. So it reduces or it maximizes the amount of space, in a larger box. Volume of liquid in this pack, it's 180 ml, right? So why 180 ml? Because many reasons. A couple of reasons is that it's calculated to be the perfect amount to quench somebody's thirst, regardless of how old you are. But probably more important is that it impacts the final price.
Okay.
So for 180 ml, the price would be, say, 60 rupees, right? But if it was more, then the price would be much more than 60 rupees, and then it would become too expensive for people to buy Milo. So
Correct.
a lot of calculations go into trying to figure out the perfect ratio to price.